that makes a lot of sense. Anyone else got a flick? Yes?
Eraserhead by David Lynch. I know it's known to be a really experimental, really good film. I like David Lynch, Elephant Man. I haven't seen Blue Velvet, but I've seen The Elephant Man and some of Mulholland Drive. But Eraserhead, I had no idea what the fuck I was watching.
David Lynch films are very much like that, and I still get an argument with Lindsay Ellis about this. She says, I don't get how just because it says, it's a David Lynch film, that gives him a free pass. I kind of disagree. Again, it's going to hit you or it's not going to hit you. And I don't think it says anything about like, oh, you don't get it, so you're a dummy. I don't think that's it. I think some films, I was just talking about this actually in my other panel, some films are experience movies where it's not as much about the story or the characters, it's about conveying like a weird feeling or just an emotion or an idea or a theme or something like that. And David Lynch is very much like that. And I'm not saying it always works for me. I mean, there's some films he does I don't care much for. That's very much along the same lines of that experimental stuff. I did like Eraserhead, and I think what draws people in is that, how long will it hold your attention? How long will you be drawn into this world, and how well can it really bring you into this emotion and sort of just put you in that state of mind? I think a lot of people who do these films try to get something where it's a little bit more sort of like, I don't say subconscious, but sort of like that semi-awake, semi-asleep state of being, and it's an interesting realm to sort of touch upon. But the thing is that there's not much story, when you're dreaming. I mean, that's part of it, is that it's not supposed to be much story or character or anything like that. So I think that's what those experimental movies are trying to do. Whether or not it hits you or not is always up to the person.
Okay.
But I think that's why it hits so many people, because they do feel something while watching, and they do get sucked into this strange kind of realm and this odd experience that is familiar, but they can't always explain.
Mm-hmm.
It is sort of that dreamlike state. But yeah, another person could look at that and say, I want a story, I want characters, I want to be challenged.
That's what I wanted. Yeah.
And that makes just as much sense. It's like you worked hard, you want to see a movie you can enjoy, and you see these giant chipmunk cheeks, and it's like, what the hell? So no, that makes a lot of sense.
All right.
So, who else has got one? Yes.